What's up, my flatland rider buddies? I am Jean-William Prévost. My friends call me Dub. It is a beautiful summer day out there. A good day to go ride. If you're on your computer and it's nice out, come back to this podcast a little later. I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I am just going to want to do these when there is something I want to be saying or there's no other platform for me to do it. I don't really want to post it to social media. I find that YouTube is maybe the best medium for this kind of stuff. I want to introduce a new product today, and I hope that you guys are gonna like it. Something that is not necessarily only flat specific, but flat incline, something I've been wanting to do for a while now. And yeah, I'll show you guys in a minute. So just before I was watching the Olympics, and it's like, man, this really hitting me hard this time once again. Like I'm so excited to look at like what this could be also for us, you know, as flatland riders. But you know, I think it's pretty official by now that 2028 in LA won't have flatland. I didn't really hear any like specific reason. I guess from what I understand is that we're not enough. We don't have the critical mass necessary. We don't have like the fan base. We don't have like the following worldwide that is there to like help promote our sport, you know. And so we have a lot of work to do, and well, some part of it is mine, and in part everybody else that is interested, in even people watching today. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, and we have to put the sport out there as much as possible. There's guys doing schools now starting. Japan's very strong, but Japan can't bring flatland to the Olympics on its own. So our next hope would be like 2032 in Brisbane in Australia. And for those that are of my generation, stick in there. You know, we won't be too old by then, and hopefully we still can make an impact either as a rider or a coach or in it any other way possible. Shout out to my friends out there at the Olympics today. Jeffrey representing Canada, it's like and the federation, and he killed it. 2 perfect runs, and didn't get the score necessary to qualify, but even just being there is so epic, and proud of you, man. And same with actually the Olympic BMX freestyle park is designed by a good friend of mine that I had the opportunity to bring to China back in 2010, I think, and we even stayed in the same room for like 5 months. And man, it's crazy to see this friend move on and become like an Olympic skateboard, like freestyle BMX park builder. He's been doing it for Hurricane for a while, and he stayed in China ever since 2010. So this guy's Chinese is like way better than mine at this point too, and he's like, blows my mind, man, everything that he's done to this point. So 2 guys from Quebec, 2 Canadians that have been just out there and that are at the Olympics right now. Big shout out to them. Jeffrey Whaley and Pascal Moras Raymond from Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. What up? It's crazy. You know, like they gotta build these huge ramps, and and we're just like flatland riders, and I look at it and it's like, yeah, it's the same kind of bike setup ish, but it's such a different discipline. Overall has nothing to do with the kind of risk taking that we take, practice wise and discipline necessary to get good and become the best in the world at anything is probably similar, but the risks that they have to take and the injuries that they have to risk having, or just having and then recuperating and then getting back on time on your bike before, you know, you feel expired or you're not able to keep up with the flow of things. There's a lot of good riders in the park, and the sport has exploded, I guess, since at least 2-3 years before Tokyo Olympics, when it first entered the UCI at the same time as flatland did, and it really made for goals to be set, federations to be built, people to have opportunities, guys out in countries that would never have received funding now receiving funding. Even in flatland, I mean, from what I hear, it's changing people's lives, at least one here and there, to make a difference and make them capable of staying on their bikes for the years ahead of them, to be able to keep competing and be a part and be a pillar for flatland, as small as it's become and as little as we feel we are. Sometimes I find that we can still rely on a couple pillars around the world, guys that will never stop, you know, being part of Flatland, and we need more people like that. And if just some would realize the extent to which you could have such a cool life with BMX and BMX Flatland, I think more people would take part in it. But you gotta break that 2-3 year layer, thick ice of difficulty and suffering before you can actually have fun flowing on a Flatland bike. So yeah, Olympics, mind-blowing. I can't believe I was just watching that. Like, all we need is a floor, you know, like, and speaking of which, getting like a nice Flatland floor going is not easy as it seems, because, you know, I've competed in so many events where I was like, I can't believe that this is the official floor for this event. I cannot even imagine myself doing good on it, and then you have to just like summon the gods of Flatland and just try to make things happen and not focus on the obstacles, because we don't want no obstacles really, right? All we need is the flattest of all floors on a round planet. So that's a hard thing to do. I do have one in my backyard, but we're gonna have a really nice floor coming up this weekend in Cleveland. There's this event that's organized by Chris Young. It's his second year, called the Freestyle Assassins Battleground BMX competition. This year is going to have a lot of cool riders, including me. Yeah, I'll be there, leaving in 2 days now. You'll see guys from Japan, I think Kyo, and then Lee Musselwhite from England. There's going to be Dustin from Germany, also JF from Montreal. Then you got, like, hopefully as many people as possible coming down from the region in Ohio. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there. They have like one of the biggest floors made in OSB in the last couple of years, really. I mean, the only comparable size was my contest in Real City Spin back in 2016, which that was a long time ago. So you're always gonna have like 4 guys comfortably riding at the same time. So practice, you really get time to get warm, and you get time to like feel comfortable on your bike before you gotta run. Their format is 2 times 3 minute runs, so it's not like the classic UCI format, which is 1 3-minute run for qualies, 1 3-minute run semis, and 1 3-minute run for finals. So it's just 2 3-minute runs, and that's qualifying and finals at the same time, basically, and the best run counts. So if you just have a hard time on the first one, you get a second chance to bring it back, which is great sometimes. But sometimes it's also very quick back-to-back runs, so that format can be tricky. If, let's say, your first run doesn't go as planned, then you might have to go again within your group within a short amount of time, and then going 3 minutes and then going 3 minutes again sometimes can be really draining, like hard to get the chi back together, you know. I explain it to people like that. I think like how I feel after I get really like anxious and stressed, and you use that stress and you try to condense it into this ball of energy, and then make it as dense as possible and just focus towards making your 3-minute run. And sometimes it dissipates after that first run, and that's the task at hand, is to keep that energy just like solid and not let it dissipate. And after, I don't know, what is it, 15 minutes sometimes, when you got just a couple guys in a group and you got to go again, 3 minutes can be like hard on the stamina. So stamina is important in that kind of format. So Cleveland is what's up, and coming up this weekend, that's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait, actually. I'll be out there. I'll be running a little booth, and I'll be just there promoting my riding style and parts, and representing IGI as always. So, you know, I sell parts here with Iggy, and I do a lot with Far East Cycles, which we've been working hand in hand since 2009. So it's been like 15 years at this point that we've been riding. We got like new products such as like these Fang bars, which are a very nice product, or others such as this custom knee saver style titanium oil slick anodized oil slick tie bar, which is super light. It barely weighs anything. We got stuff like that in stock, and just basically nowadays this has become a staple in the flatland community to switch up the front end, go into tie. I mean, there's a lot more titanium available for our bikes nowadays, and I'm proud to have taken part in that wave. But obviously there's a huge difference in price. Like a regular chromoly Far East fork is $200, and then the titanium one is $650 Canadian. I don't know what it does in US, maybe something around $550, which is a lot of money to put on your bike, but it changes the feel of the bike. It's quite amazing to feel the difference when you first change for like a big chunk of chromoly, switch to titanium. You discover a new kind of era of your riding and less strenuous, but over time it just becomes normal again, and without that burden of carrying like 25-pound bikes, which even 30-pound bikes if that's what you were used to. Like my bike's now down to like 16 pounds, maybe under, over, I'm not exactly sure, but that'll make a huge difference. So yeah, those parts are available through IGI Flat BMX. You can find our stuff on IG Flat Log on Instagram. All of my stock is there. I don't have time to run like an actual like shop just because I'm like running all over the place and I got so much to do, and I do ride almost every day, and you know, you'd be part of Flatland but don't ride. I don't know how you do it, because the more important part for me, most important part, is to get out there and ride and enjoy being on your bike as much as possible, when it's possible, because that becomes a difficult task at hand with age, time, projects, ambitions, agenda, and whatnot. So I wanted to introduce a new part to you guys. If you guys remember, I had made this t-shirt. It was like a tiger style you know, t-shirt. Yeah, I like little Asian style kind of. Why I made it was that in fact I wanted to make the bike part first, but I made the t-shirt first. So this tiger was designed by my friend from Toronto. He's a Rodrigo. He's a tattoo artist, and he made this drawing for this sprocket that I have made. You can see it here. I designed, this is a 25 tooth. It's all milled out in the back. So I'll probably put a photo up in it so you guys see it clearer a little later. But yeah, so this is a 7075 T6 aluminum sprocket with a spline drive made of TC4 titanium, which in itself is not the most innovative product like on the IGI line, but for me it was just a sprocket that I wanted to make for a while, because I had the idea I wanted a tiger on there, because I wanted to make a line with tigers on them, but I'm very close to, let's say, Chinese culture in a couple ways, because I spent a lot of time there. I was there for 5 years in total, pretty much over 13 to 14 years of going there, even since 2007. That's even more now, 17 years of going to China. And so they have the Chinese horoscope, and in the Chinese horoscope I am the year of the tiger, and it comes back every 12 years, and I wanted to release it, something with a tiger on it, like or a sprocket with a tiger on it, like on the return of the cycle, which was just 2 years ago, I think. But I didn't have time to do it, and then time went by and I didn't have a drawing, but this time I got it. So yeah, this is a drawing designed by Rodrigo from Row Label Art on Instagram, from Toronto, but he's originally from Argentina. So yeah, cool flatland rider that got back into riding recently and also does some cool art. So I put that on there. It's all milled out in the back, if you can see it correctly, maybe better like that, yeah, as it shines with the light. So I designed the whole sprocket. Obviously, like, the front is just a flat surface because I wanted to be able to go and laser etch whatever I wanted on it. There's also a Chinese character representing Hu is a tiger in Chinese, and a bit of writing. I called it Signs of the Times sprocket. So this is the 25 tooth black version. This one's milled out in its own fashion, and there are 3 sizes and a couple colors, which I'm going to show you right now. And I mean, each design is milled out a bit different because it kind of has to. But first I'll tell you that it is a full sprocket, obviously, so it's not as light as something that is milled out entirely. But since there's the spline drive for 48 spline, by the way, 48 spline that is suitable for a 48 spline Far East or profile spindle on which it will work. You save the weight of having a bolt and the adapter. So this is only 19 millimeters sprocket. So it's comparable or a bit lighter than a sprocket like a Far East that I was using before, with the steel bolt and the steel adapter from 22 to 19. So you won't either gain or lose. It's just, yeah, it's a cool little piece of art that I'm like stoked that we made at IGI. And there's a little bit of branding here where you can see the IGI logo right at the top of it. You probably won't see it on camera, but I'll try to take another different shot for it and edit it in so you guys can see this one first. Yeah, so that is the black version, which I'm gonna just put right here so you guys can see the intros of each color. Yeah, and so I'm gonna have it in 23 tooth as well, in gold. So gold is gonna be available, and the back side is milled out in its own way too. I did as much as possible to keep it as strong as possible, yet removing as much weight as I thought was convenient to just make sure that, you know, like this will last a long time. And oh, actually I was especially annoyed by having like a bolt-on sprocket, and there wasn't that many spline drive sprockets available in smaller sizes for us in flatland. So yeah, the benefit of a spline drive sprocket obviously is that because when you have a bolt-on sprocket, it's always pulling more from one side, and pulling more from one side makes it that your sprocket ends up ovalizing quite quickly, actually, especially if you're running a tight chain like we do with the Far East Free Coaster. And that just makes it for like loose, tight pedaling drivetrain. Your drivetrain just turns into like loose and tight all the time, so you always end up tightening the chain more on the loose end, and then it keeps the cycle going. So a spline drive is a good solution to that because you're driving the sprocket from the center splines, and that is dope. I'm gonna put this one like this right here. Yes sir. So you can see the back end, and I'm gonna have it out as well in red. Red is gonna be a color of choice for this batch of new sprockets that we made, milled out in its own fashion as well in the back. So these are the three sizes: 25, 23, and 20 tooth. Wow, this guy goes right there. So I ride 20 tooth. The guys that, you know, use their bikes to pedal around a lot, they like a bigger chain ring. I didn't bother with making bigger ones because it's really more flatland focused. And IGI doesn't have any, you know, like just branded products just to make a product. It's always got to incorporate a bit of an innovation in it. I've never seen the Thai spline drive adapter, so I consider that like a cool aspect and something new for a sprocket available. And it's going to be also in silver, obviously. So this is also the 20 tooth right here in silver. So I hope that you guys get the best choice of colors that you like. And last but not least, you get to have oil slick. Yes sir, oil slick. This one is 25 tooth. Yes, the oil slick is beautiful. It's more expensive than the other colors, so they will retail for $82.49 Canadian each, and the oil slick will be $109.99, which will be the base prices, MSRPs, or what do you want to call it. So yeah, I want to invite you guys not only to come out to Cleveland for the event, but come out to Cleveland and check out the first time you'll get to put your eyes on these sprockets, but also the ceramic and tungsten pegs. Don't forget about these. They just came out. They're a cool product in of itself. I've had it around for a bit. This is a new batch, a bit thinner coating on it. Tungsten and ceramic coated. It's called the Microphone Flex. These are my favorite pegs that have ever existed. This one, especially the ceramic, the feel of it with a plastic cap on it is how I use it. I find it's just, yeah, it's just uncomparable because of the applications of these coatings, that are made to last, very durable under long strain and abrasion, if that's the right and correct word, and that we do a lot of in Flatland. Yeah, so here's the sprocket. These pegs, they'll be there as well in Cleveland. I hope that you guys like the choice of colors that will make you spike up your bike, spruce up your bike the way you like it to look. And I hope that, well, people put them on their bike and enjoy them. And so first time making a sprocket, I don't really know what kind of, you know, reaction. I know there's a lot of them out there, but yeah, I wanted to make my own and brand it with Iggy and the Tiger, so Tiger style, and that's what we go with. Oh, and weight wise, the sprocket will be exactly 50 grams for 20 tooth, 64 grams for 23, and 82 grams for 25 tooth. And it's comparable to a regular bolt-on sprocket just because of that hardware weight that is eliminated, because that's basically it. You just slap it onto your 48 spline spindle and that's what you will be going with. It's beautiful, actually. I love a spline drive. I had never had one on my bike before, and this is a good way to start it off for me. So yeah, I hope you guys like the product. I haven't done a flat system in a while, so yeah, I'm a little rusty. Well, if you like the content and if you would want me to do more, or want to hear about something in particular, and you should insist on it, because I'm just so busy with so many things, but I have so much on my mind that I would like to share with like the Flatland community. A lot of times if I have like any negative thoughts about anything, I would never go on here. I will just, you know, like come here if I have something positive to say. That's really mostly why I do it, because it's important for us to put out the best stuff possible community wise for Flatland. We need to show ourselves in the best of light. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little episode, and I might be back, might not be back for another year. I know it's been a long time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope everybody will show up in Cleveland at the Battleground. Hope to see you there, and you guys have a nice session and a nice day. Peace out.